Ladies and gents, you guys know what time it is. Welcome to All Things Covered. Patrick Peterson, Bryant McFadden got another jam-packed show for you. Once again, it's a great time to be associated with the Minnesota Vikings. They're 7-1. The fans feel good. The players feel good. Everyone feels good. And with that being said, Hayden Spock, you feel good as well because guess what? He was our winner from last week. Remember, we said we're giving a gift giveaway, to say the least. Last week, we announced that we will be giving away a signed P2 authentic sideline hat. Hayden Spock, Congrats to you. You're our winner from a week ago. And since the Vikings keep winning, right? We're going to keep feeling generous. And with that being said, we have another signed hat to give away this week. So, Pat P, I don't know how many hats you have in your locker. I don't know how many hats you have tied to you in the facility. But as long as you guys keep winning, we plan on, we would like to keep giving hats away. Are you okay with that?
I'm perfectly fine with that, man. Okay.
So with that being said, for you guys that are just tuning in to what we're doing, this is our giveaway. We're giving away a authentic signed hat. And it's the same rules as last week. Subscribe to our channel. Like the video, comment SKOL in the comment section, and we'll randomly pick a winner week in and week out. And as long as the Vikings keeps winning, we will continue to give away authentic signed P2 hats. Wait, hey Pat, when you sign your name, do you put Patrick Peterson or do you do what do you do?
Hey man,
you do P2 or what do you do?
Just depends on what type of day it is. You gotta wait and see how I'm feeling.
So those are the two options, though. You get your whole name or you do P2.
Right.
Okay, that's the options. Well, I think, and of course, with the number 7. So I think fans would definitely love to have either or on a signed authentic hat. Before we get into the Vikings recap, it's an opportunity for both of us, to gloat a little bit about our alma maters, right?
Oh, yeah.
LSU.
Go Tigers.
Did you see the LSU game Saturday night?
Did I? I had it on every TV in my hotel room.
What were your thoughts about that game?
Man, it was a hell of a game. I knew we would come out on top, especially with the momentum especially with the momentum we start to build around like week 5, beating Ole Miss, losing to Tennessee, kind of gave me some doubt. But watching the game, we just didn't play our best ball. It just caught us on our heels. You know what I mean? And going into the Alabama game, obviously, I know how much it meant to Coach Kelly to beat, Nick Saban. So I knew he was, going all in. So, yeah, man, I watched every single play of that game.
And, Pat, you had 34-30 LSU win. They actually won 32-31, so you was pretty close.
Yeah, I was pretty close, man. I went to my number-wise thinking like my boy Mac. I was like, what number's coming to me? Let me think about it. And that's what came to me, Matt.
You were close. You were close. Your Tigers took care of business. And, man, my Seminoles.
Yeah.
Did you get a glimpse of what happened down in Miami?
I ain't gonna lie, Mac. I didn't because all eyes was on them Tigers, dog. But I did see. That's right. I did see the score pop up. I was like, ooh, well, that thing getting ugly down south, boy.
I can't find a Hurricane fan to save my life. I don't know if they all just vanished. I can't find none of them. Nobody ain't talking about nothing. I can't. Everybody quiet. And now, for the few that I've talked to, well, we knew we were going to lose. Stop that. Don't try to wave the white flag.
No. Don't say that. Man. Do not hit me with that.
Yes. Oh, we knew we were going to lose. It's a down year. It's a rebuild. Number one, how can it be a rebuild when the team last year won 8 games?
Right.
And got to a bowl? What are you talking about? You didn't win 3 or 4 or 5. You won 8 games.
That's a loser mentality and a loser response, man.
And you had a quarterback that many felt would be a first-round talent. Van Dyke, who started midway through the season last year, coming to this year, high expectations. Now you're talking about, well, we don't have this, we don't have that. Whatever you don't have, it showed last Saturday night. 45-3. I can't even find a Hurricane fan.
It wasn't close, man.
Yeah,
I saw when it got it was about 30-something to 3. I was like, ooh. Yeah. Strike up the band, coach.
No question. Strike up the band. All their teeth got knocked out. And oh, by the way, your high school, Ely, they had the Soul Bowl against Dillard. I think they beat Dillard too as well. I think the game got called. Yeah, Soul Bowl.
They got called.
Yeah, somebody started shooting in the third quarter.
Oh, yeah. What was, you know what the score was?
They gave the victory to Ely. I think Ely finished undefeated for the season.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Matter of fact, isn't the stadium named after you?
Yeah.
Patrick Peterson Stadium?
Patrick Showtime Peterson.
Oh, that's what they call you in high school?
Yeah. Showtime.
Oh, yeah. For all you Patrick Peterson fans, you didn't know his high school stadium is named after him.
Hey, Mac, I used to bring him out, Mac.
Showtime?
Hey, man, I used to bring him out. I remember when we played Coral Gables, right? Urban might come to the game. My boys all excited because I think it was like the first game, like they saw scouts, you know, like a D1. So they started calling me like D1. Like D1 was my nickname in high school. So we saw this scout, Urban Meyer. I think it was with Holiday. I can't remember the coach's first name, but his last name was Holiday.
Was it Doc Holiday?
Yep, Doc Holiday.
Yeah.
So Holiday, boom, boys in the back of the end zone. Coral Gables kick off, they punt the ball. Can't remember what happened. Either I dropped it or like the ball. Oh no, I did not drop it. The ball bounced and like everybody was around me, like all the Coral Gables defenders, and I end up just end up catching it anyway. Strike up the sideline. Urban Meyer's in the back of the end zone. I dive, score, and I end up doing the gator chop, like to him in the back of the end zone. And everybody went crazy. It was a Thursday night. Never forget it. It was a Thursday night football game, night game. Coral Gables right out there, played at their stadium, right there against the turnpike. The turnpike.
That was your senior year?
Yep, that was my senior year. Yeah.
Yeah, I told at that time when I was coming out, Steve Spurrier was the head coach at Florida. I told him to even waste his time. He tried to come see me during spring practice. You know, we used to have spring football in May. I just didn't like Florida. He came and like, man, I had Steve Spurrier. I think it was Joe Paterno there at practice. I had some heavy hitters. They were like the two main heavy hitters. That's like the second day in spring.
Right.
And I told him up close and personal, I'm like, man, I don't think you want to waste your time. I'm not just rocking with Florida. It's like, why not? I'm like, I'm just not rocking with Florida.
Yeah, can't do it.
So, yeah. So, and you know, spring football in Florida is a big deal.
Right.
It's a big deal.
Real big deal.
That's like the first day I think we had in pads. I told Gators don't even rock with. They kept trying to, you know, get into the house with me. You know what I mean? Knocking on the door, but I was like, no.
Not happening.
Not happening.
One fooling with the swamp, huh?
Nah, I wouldn't rock with the swamp at all.
Yeah.
I just didn't like Florida. I still don't to this day. It was only right that I go to Florida State because I didn't like Florida. Yeah, but
how many times did you beat Florida?
I think I beat them 2 or 3. 2 or 3. I think it was like 2 or 3.
Because you guys play them every year, right?
Every year, last game of the season.
Okay.
Yeah. During Florida week, we eat gator in the cafeteria. They feed us gator.
So like how is that rivalry compared to UM?
It's for me, it's dislike on both sides, but I almost went to Miami. You know what I mean? So Miami, I could have had on those colors. Florida, I knew I wasn't putting on those colors. So it's the ultimate dislike. The thing about those two teams, when I was playing at Florida State, Miami had kind of our mentality. You know what I mean? Rough. You know, it's a 4-quarter game. Florida was more soft. You know, if you jump on top of the Gators early back then, you got them. You know, for us, if we played against Miami, we knew it was going to be a 4-quarter game. Florida was more like, we consider them to be a little more timid, a little softer.
So is it true that that's why you guys really dislike Miami more than Florida, because you guys kind of resemble each other?
No, I think we dislike Miami more than Florida because their fans are so annoying. You know how it is living in South Florida. You know how it is. Every year, it's almost like Hurricane fans are like Cowboy fans or New York Knicks fans.
I was gonna say that because if they win, they up. But if they lose, then they ain't rolling with them. So
yeah, and every year it's like oh yeah, this is the year. You know, we're back. So now you're admitting that you left because to be back, you had to leave. Like every year, this is like, think about this. This past year, coming into the season for college football, they were ranked top 16 or whatever it was. You know, all the hype. Oh yeah, this is Miami's year. This gonna be this, we that. Their fans are just so annoying. I can't stand their fans. Yeah, they were like top 16.
Yeah, and they went crazy, so they back.
Oh, no question. Yeah, they back. Oh, man. Miami hasn't won an ACC championship game. I mean, championship title since they've been in the ACC. Their trophy case is empty. Now, if you go back to the early 2000s, it's different. But we're talking about
it was in the Big East.
Yeah, they was in the Big East. You know what I mean? But since going to ACC, that trophy case is empty. But I think that's what differentiates. That's the biggest difference between Florida and Miami. The fans, Miami fans are annoying. But we had a great. And oh, by the way, I hit 3 different parlays.
Here you go with your parlays. All right,
I hit a 5-teamer. I hit a 4. And last night I hit a little slim 2-teamer.
Hey, Matt, so did you have LSU on one of your parlays? Because that 12.5 is kind of disrespectful.
No, I had the over in LSU game. I took the over. You know, Nick Saban can't handle an athletic quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, the 12.5 was low-key kind of disrespectful.
Yeah, I took the over. I took the over.
I know it was double digits.
Yeah, I took the over. And the over was like 56, something like that. And
you just got it.
Yeah, it was 63.
Lucky it went in overtime.
Yeah. So, hey, I had a great week. You had a great week. LSU, Florida State, Minnesota had a great week. And with that being said, it's time to tap into our Commanders recap. The Vikings won 20-17. I was very, very close. I predicted 20-14. 6 straight win to improve to 7-1. The prior 3 times that the Minnesota Vikings started 7-1 or better, 2009, 2000, 1998, they have made the NFC Championship game. So the last 3 times the Vikings have started 7-1, they got to the NFC Championship game. Boy, that would be huge. Largest lead in division through 9 weeks since 1970, right? 2011, you had the 49ers had a 5-game division lead. 1990, the 49ers had a five-game division lead. 73, Purple People Eaters. The Vikings had a 5-game division lead. 2022, the Vikings have a 4.5-game lead in the division. So these are the largest leads in divisions through 9 weeks. You guys are 4th, tied with the Patriots of 2007. Man, Pat Pete, man, I mean, before the game, like to talk about something that you and your teammate Cam wore, shirts remembering Takeoff, a rapper from the group Migos who died over a week ago. Before the game, what did it mean? What did he mean to you? I know you're a big fan of his music, Migos as well, but you and your teammates to be able to wear a shirt to honor the rapper Takeoff.
Man, it was just, very sad and tragic news what happened to Takeoff, over the, like you said, I think, about a week ago. Yeah. Yeah, over in Houston. Was my favorite Migos, by far. My teammates know that. My teammate knows. My teammates knows that. That's my favorite, group to listen to, especially when I'm on a football field. It's just something about their tune, their cadence. Those guys do it the right way. And it was just sad to see that, they wasn't able to make music, as a group anymore, because those guys were just so dynamic. And then obviously hearing the news that Takeoff is, left us far so early at 28 years old. It was just, man, Devin. I thought it was fake when I got a message in my in the defensive back text thread. I was like, no way. Because the night before, me and Sally were just talking about talking about how, we felt like on this album that he really was dancing, like he was really showing, who he was.
Infinity Links, right?
Right, Infinity Links. So, man, I'm still shocked, man. And Cam came up with the idea of, Cam always have these great tribute shirts. And he was like, man, I'm going to get some Takeoff shirts for all of us. I was like, man, make sure you get me one. I never met him before, but, just seemed like he was just a very chill, cool, laid back guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So my favorite Migos of the group, I mean, all of them are good, but it was just something about Takeoff to me, his lyrics and the way his delivery and so forth. So definitely left us way too early. And RIP Takeoff. Who is this?
This is my little daughter dog, Scarlet.
Scarlet.
Oversized Pomeranian. She was looking for some oversized. She left fat.
Oversized.
Yeah, I call her oversized. She look heavy.
Oh, okay. I guess.
She look heavy. She wanted some attention. Scarlet.
That's the only dog you got? You got two?
I got the Yorkie still, who I've been having. Yeah, I got the Yorkie, and then I got the Rock. The Rottweiler. Sade.
You got a dog full of a house full of dogs.
Yeah. Sade.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but hey, so one thing I want to talk to you about, and we talked about this, and you said every week you guys gonna have something in store, right? Celebrations. Yep. Number one, huge interception by Harrison Hicks. Man, he's having a phenomenal year, an all-pro like year, by the way. Another interception, game-changing like play, because at that time you guys were kind of on your heels a little bit on both sides of football. Couldn't really do anything offensively. That turnover gave the offense great field position to be able to capitalize on. But another impressive defensive celebration. Remember I said last week, I don't think there's another defensive team in the National Football League that has more creativity in regards to the celebration and how unique it is for the everyone to be on the same page. Take us through that celebration, the bowling celebration. Take us through that. Who came up with that, and how did you get everyone to be dialed in for that when the time presented itself to you?
Yeah, we always kind of predict ourselves of, making a splash play in the game. And, you want to have a couple celebrations, in the sleeve, So, I normally come on the second wave of buses, so that's the last wave of buses, maybe like 2.5 hours before the game. I hate sitting in the locker room. The anticipation is crazy for me.
Yeah, you get on the last bus.
Yeah, so I get on the last bus.
I used to get on the middle bus.
Yeah, get on the last bus, get there late. Not late, but, the last group to get there. As soon as I walk in, I just see Z and Eric Kendrick walk straight up to me. Like, there he is. Let's go to the celebration. So Eric had a celebration. Z had a celebration. And it was like, and we still was honestly like indecisive on which one we was going to go with. So it was like, all right, cool. Initially, we agreed upon going with Eric. I'm not going to say what it is because we might pull it out this week.
Okay, all right.
So we was going to go with Eric's celebration. And that's what my mind was all already set upon when we got in the end zone. Well, when it was time to, perform the celebration or whatever. Then Big Z come along. No. Let's do the bowling pin. Everybody set up for the bowling pin. And just so happened, we set up for the bowling pin. Harry was the guy who made the play. Obviously, got to be the guy who's bowling it. And Jordan Hicks just topped it off being that last pin to find.
Oh yeah, that one that was just holding on, didn't want to fall.
Oh yeah.
So let me ask this question: when y'all decided to do the bowling pin, do y'all walk through it in the locker room? Like, do y'all get the guys together to walk through it?
No, not really, because everybody kind of know, what bowling pins are. It just kind of like get set up. The fans and the commentators, they'll get the point from there.
Mm-hmm. Hey, so I'm gonna tell you this much, man, Pat. Boy, you talking about being mad? I know you were heated, but take us through the play with Cam, right? Collided with the referee that led to a huge game-like changing play for Washington. Curtis Samuel, I think, was the recipient of that pass for a touchdown, that receiving touchdown. What happened?
What you mean? What happened?
I know I saw what happened, but what the
exactly?
Like, how did that happen? Like, what did the referee say anything to y'all? Like, and number one, Cam, I know all you guys were definitely mad because that was a touchdown that wasn't supposed to happen. Then for two, that would have been the second week in a row Cam gets an interception.
Right. Our safeties are playing some great ball.
Oh,
some unbelievable ball.
Facts.
Before that play, I was like, Cam, all right, they're at the 50-yard line. We already know what time it is.
Taking a shot.
They stay high. I'm gonna stay on the upfield shoulder, but I'm gonna play low hip because they like to run those deep bike routes, meaning those deep 18-yard stops. So with him staying high as he should, and as he, being where he's supposed to be, it gives me an opportunity to play more aggressive low hip.
Mm-hmm.
So once I noticed his stem, if you go back and watch the play, I'm like, all right, this the post. I already know who that person is right there up underneath me. I already know who's in the post for me. It's a safety because we always have somebody high.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm upfield shoulder. I got Harrison right here up under me. I'm running with him. I'm like, man, somebody about to pick this ball off. I'm about to start dancing. You know what I mean? I'm about to start getting my boogie on. And I know the easiest person who had the best vision and opportunity at it was Cam. So boom, the play goes on. I'm like, all right, boom, we about to get a pick. Oh, we about to get a pick. I see Samuels coming out with the ball. I'm like, what happened? Because that initially I didn't know the ref collided with Cam.
Yeah.
I'm like, Cam, how did you miss this layup? Like, this is a fastball that we talk about every week. As far as if you see the fastball, you hit that fastball.
Yep.
This was the play. It was like that, because he's in shock himself, so he's not saying anything. So then I look back at the jumbotron. I'm like,
that's when you saw it happen.
Oh man, the ref took you out.
Yeah. And check this out. So Cam said the ref, Steve Patrick, apologized the next series. Cam was like, I forgive you. It's fine. It's football. I'm worried about the next series. After that play, I was over it. Cam said it's just unfortunate running there. It was actually a triple coverage. He throws up a duck and it's an easy interception, but the ref is somehow playing free safety better than me. That was Cam's statement. Say the ref played free safety better than he did.
Hey, if you go back and watch the tape, he really did. Like all the ref had to do was just stop. All he had to do is just stop. He's here in the middle of the field. The ball's coming over his head. All you have to do is stop and watch the play from this angle.
Hey,
watch
and
the play from this view.
It was triple. That was a bad decision by Heineke. Matter of fact,
horrible
when y'all got to the sideline, like, what did your DB coach say? Like, what was said? Like,
man, Coach DJ he was in shock. He was like, I just don't know what to say, P. Because we take pride on obviously, keeping a roof on the defense. That's what keep you successful as a defense. That's what keep you successful as a team, and that's what, quite frankly, provides winning football.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And when that happened, and you got three guys on this particular play, knowing this play is about to happen, and the ref, I'm not calling the ref out. I don't want to get fined.
Yeah.
But when the ref go and take my man out, it was like, damn.
Man. And at that time, man, the momentum was being snatched away from you guys. Because Minnesota, Washington had that thing rolling.
They did, man.
And it was like, oh, man, not like this.
I tell you this. We ain't blanked out one time. We knew we was going to win that game. I'm not even, Mac, everybody may think I'm joking. Right before Harrison got the pick, the team just posted. I was like, we about to make a big play. Somehow, we about to make a big play.
Hey, Mike Tom used to say, I want guys who want to run in the hot kitchen, who ain't afraid. Run into the hot kitchen.
I said, I don't know how we going to win this ball game, but we going to win this ball game. Period.
Yeah,
that's the difference. And that's the difference between winning team and losing team. You have that confidence within yourself, knowing that you can go out and achieve that goal.
That play with Curtis Samuel hit me from two different sides. Number one, I'm rooting for the Vikings, and I felt like that could be a huge play in whether the Vikings win or lose. Number two, I was playing against Curtis Samuel in fantasy football. And at that time, Curtis Samuel only had 2 points. He didn't do anything. And this is getting close to fantasy playoffs for all you guys.
They probably had 100-yard passing at that point.
Bruh. And I'm in a league where you get bonus points for a 40-yarder for a touchdown.
Oh, my goodness.
That man instantly went from having 2 points to 22 points in one play. And I'm in a dog fight. I said, I can't believe this. And
Did you end up winning?
Oh, yeah, I still won. Yeah,
all right, good.
My team heavy. I got some heavy hitters. I'm a great GM. I'm a good GM. Heck, the window might be open for me to be a GM for a professional team since Jeff Saturday can be an interim head coach from the couch.
Man, they can jump you right off the podcast, coach.
No question. So I might have a window. It might
put him in.
I might have a window. Talking about not blanking, speaking it into existence about winning a ball game. Keys to that fourth quarter comeback, holding the Commanders only to 17 points and being able to rally in the fourth quarter to win that ball game. What were the keys, Pat P?
We only have 10 points, if that. You know what I mean? But anywho, the keys to it, man, we just played a very, very sound defense from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. You know, I just thought we was very sound on third downs, keeping them backed up. Even, you know, early on, we were battling field position. I thought we did a great job of managing that because it could have got real ugly. I believe, like, early on in that game, my average starting point as a defense was like, you know, they're 42, if I'm not mistaken. You know, but we did a good job of, you know, managing that, diffusing the momentum in that game, and just quite frankly, just sticking together as a team, you know, finding a way. Offense didn't have it going on, but defense found a way to keep us in the game. Yep, we gave up some big plays in that end of the third quarter, but, you know, early in the fourth quarter, we buckled down, made some plays, you know, to reverse that momentum. And now the offense got the momentum back. And then, you know, at the end of the game, Washington making some bonehead mistakes on, you know, bull rushing the center, our long snapper on the field goal, which prevented them from having more time to, you know, to try to tie the game or even go for the win. But, you know, those just the margin of errors that, you know, we talk about and go through each and every week. You want to be a situational smart football team because, quite frankly, that play possibly lost them the game.
Yeah. No question. And those are the things that adds to how close you are to winning or losing. You know what I mean? And you guys are doing it in the right way compared to last year. You did everything the wrong way, which ultimately kept you guys on the wrong end of a win. How impressive was it to see TJ Hockenson, who you acquired last week, right, play a big part in the offensive production? 9 receptions for 70 yards, second most catches in a game in his career. You know, how impressive was that? And I can tell you this much, man, if he gave us that in the first trailer, to say the least, of this movie that we're going to see, that movie got to be bananas. It got to be on point. But how impressive was it to see TJ fresh off a plane a few days later, a few days ago, and then leading up to the ball game, giving you 9 receptions for 70 yards?
Man, very, very exciting to see what TJ was able to provide for this offense. You know, that, and like you said, he just gave us a glimpse. You know, he was just with us 3 days before he had to suit it up and go pack it up and go out to Washington and prepare for a football game. And he did it unbelievable. You know, every single day I saw him at the late after practice trying to understand the route concept, understand the scheme. You could tell that he's a guy that's dedicated to the game. And when you have guys like that, the game don't have no choice but to be good to you. You know what I mean? So it was wonderful to see, you know, the glimpse that he was able to give us in our offense. It's going to be more wonderful, you know, to see, you know, that final chapter of what's going to come for us at the end of the season.
No question. And with that being said, he caught 9 passes. The guy who was throwing the passes became a big-time viral success. We're talking about Lil Kirk. We're going to call Lil Kirk.
Kirk did it right here.
We're going to call Lil Kirk. Kirk Cousins, once again, man, the plane was on fire. You know, big-time celebration when you have those type wins. Just winning the National Football League is already tough, but it's good to celebrate. Kirk Cousins had to have almost close to a mill on his neck, all the ice, man, no shirt on. I was surprised. I didn't think Kirk Cousins looked like he worked out at all. You know, when he got this, when he put his pads on his jersey stopped mid elbow. You know,
Kirk get it in now.
Man, Kirk look like he can do a little something in the gym.
Buys and tracks, man. Buys and tracks.
Yeah. But you know, tell us about, you know, Kirk and the vibe with the team. You guys are having fun, and I love it. That's important when you talk about being a part of a team sport and the success, man. But that moment on the plane, where you was at on the plane?
Man, I was somewhere in the crowd because my seat is about 2 seats in front of Kirk's middle aisle. So I was right there, but it was just obviously so much going on, and you can't help but keep your eyes on all the chains and the ice that my man Kirk had on in that video. The funniest part about that video that he referred to himself, he was like, "Oh my God, Kirko."
Oh, that's what he said?
I thought that was the funniest thing ever. But Kirk, man, that's Kirk though, man. Now the world is just having the opportunity to see, who he is, because that's who he is in the locker room. He's very loose. He's very, he's one of us. He loves some Kodak Black. He loved Kodak Bopping. He loved the Kodak Bop. So, Kirk is a great guy, man. A great leader, great quarterback, and now just the world is just seeing the other side of him.
I mean, we love it. We love it from afar because we don't get a chance to see him day in and day out and interact. And what people don't understand about the game of football, especially the National Football League, not most, but there's few quarterbacks that kind of isolate themselves from the other guys, when it's not on the field related. You know what I mean? And when you have the quarterbacks that are, like you said, they're one of the guys, the players, the teammates, they buy into you. Right. They rock with you because you're one of us. Because we know the quarterback is a leadership position. Like it or love it, like it or hate it, it's a leadership position. And of course, most quarterbacks get paid the most money because of the responsibilities that come with that said position. And you're looked at differently than other positions. But when you're able to showcase, no, I'm one of the guys as well. You know what I mean? Man, people, that's what we like. That's what we like. And the energy is dispersed throughout the team. That's what we're seeing right now. I can't wait to see what celebration y'all got this Sunday, leaving Buffalo, going back to Minnesota. I can't what the plane gonna look like. Ooh. Yeah, I can't wait to see what you guys are gonna have in store for us this Sunday on the plane ride home. And then, of course, another celebration defensively as well. So I can't wait to see you, man. And talking about the Buffalo Bills, we're gonna go take a quick break. But when we come back, that's who's up next. The Buffalo Bills. They're trying to stand in the way of the Minnesota Vikings from improving to 8-1. Let's see exactly what this preview will look like right after this. Next up, Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills hosting the Minnesota Vikings. 2 straight road games. This will be the second straight road game, for the Minnesota Vikings, playing against a team that has championship aspirations, outstanding quarterback play, outstanding wide receiver play, defensively sound balance, even though they're dealing with some injuries. You know what I mean? This is a team that has found ways to be real good against opposing offenses. What kind of statement can you make versus the Super Bowl favorites? Because this was probably the consensus pick for everyone in regards to who they felt would win the Super Bowl. What kind of statement can this be for you guys?
Man, this could be a great, a huge statement for us, because, obviously going on the road, you have to be able to not only win ball games, but play quality team ball. And that's what is required in the playoffs. Yep. If you don't get home field advantage, which unfortunately we don't have, in our favor as of right now, because Philly is still undefeated and that's the team that we lost to. So at the end of the day, these type of games that you want to be at your best, these type of games that you want to, kind of build off to help prepare you for the future, because, we're trying to see the bigger picture. And obviously this is the AFC opponent, but, this is a quality football team, top to bottom. Quality defense. I don't know if they're still ranked number 1 defensively. Have a very, very explosive offense. These guys, are what you want to be measured up against. So it's going to be a great measuring stick for us to go on the road into a hostile environment with that Bills Mafia and that high-power offense and that star-studded defense. It's going to be a task for us, but I think we're prepared for it. Like Coach talked about, we didn't give our best. We didn't give who the NFL considers the best team, in the league, our best shot, when we had opportunity to. So now we have a couple games under our belt. Now we know what it feels like, to, prepare at a championship level to go out and put out a championship effort to get a W.
And with that being said, how closely are you monitoring Josh Allen injury status. I feel like I'm gonna throw this out right now. I feel like Josh Allen's not gonna play Sunday. I don't think he's gonna play Sunday. I know they're saying he's probably going to play, but you don't want to play around with no throwing elbow, especially when you still got a lot of ball left to be played. You're playing against the Minnesota Vikings, who is a good team, but they're not an AFC team. And losing to an NFC team compared to losing to an AFC team is not. It's a loss, but it's kind of different. And for you guys that know the ins and outs of the NFL, AFC, NFC, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So why risk your franchise quarterback when he might not be ready enough to go? I don't think he plays. We have to wait and see, and we will find out.
But we'll see.
Yeah. Case Keenum is the backup. Of course, Minnesota, they're familiar with Case Keenum because Case had a short stint with the Vikings. But the difference, I mean, I guess, heck, I don't even want to do that to Case. We know what the difference is, between the quarterback play. But game plan wise, how for you, Pat P, is there a big difference if you had to game plan for Josh Allen compared to Case Keenum? Or, it's kind of the same thing in regards to your film study and your prep?
I think it is going to be a little bit different because you have to understand that Josh has a little bit more command of the offense. So the offensive coordinator feels a little bit more comfortable of calling more aggressive plays, with their starting quarterback because, at the end of the day, that's who they put the most time in with. They have goals that they want to hit as offensively, statistically wise, so they have things in place. And when you have a backup quarterback, although he may have experience, it's going to be a little bit different. They may want to, obviously, we know looking at the stats, Buffalo is not a very good running team. So that's why they relied on throwing the ball a little bit more and who you have at quarterback, Josh Allen. So now when you have your backup quarterback in, now you may want to implement a little bit more run to, to sprinkle in the play action. Now you may not want to be in 11 personnel as much as you was when you had Josh Allen at the quarterback position. So I think that's in terms of things I feel that would change as far as a game plan and how I would look at it, planning for this team. But at the end of the day, they're still going to run some of the same concepts. We just have to find and dig, what was some of those simple concepts that they like to run with Josh, because we know they're going to try to sprinkle that in with Case as well.
And also, too, knowing if Josh Allen is not in the lineup, you won't see any quarterback design runs outside of a quarterback sneak. He's very, very impactful in the running game because, like you said, they don't have a consistent flow of production coming from the backfield. And oftentimes, he is their best runner in the backfield. But if he's not in the lineup, you're not running no quarterback counters and quarterback sweeps with Case Keenum. That's not happening. And also, too, his ability, Josh Allen, that is, his ability to scramble. You know what I mean? You got to plaster, you got to cover a little longer because he can buy time. Not only buy time, he can get positive with the football as well. So that would be something that you don't have to worry about. But we have to wait and see. I'm just giving my personal opinion. I don't think he's going to play. And let's see exactly what happens in the next few days leading up to the ball game. Another guy, Minnesota, the fans are extremely familiar with, Stephon Diggs. Stephon gave you some tribute on a podcast he was on with Von Miller, basically saying, man, a prime Pat P is one of the best he's ever seen. So shout out to Stephon and Von, that tribute to Pat P. But what makes him one of the best wide receivers in the game?
Man, his route running, his ability to set up routes, and also to get skinny at the line of scrimmage when you're trying to press him.
What do you mean? Tell us a little bit about getting skinny.
So what I mean by getting skinny, when most receivers like to give you their chest when they're at the line of scrimmage, try to give you the illusion that they're going somewhere. But with Stephon, Justin, Julio, AB, what those guys do a really good job of is when they're showing you that shoulder, they'll dip that sucker. Now they making it hard on me as a DB for aiming point to knock them off their route now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you do a great job of against press coverage of getting skinny this way and dipping the shoulder and forcing the receiver, forcing the DB to kind of push him down on his back and low key giving him momentum to stack him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So he does a really, 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 really good job, at that. So, he has a ton of more, attributes that, present problem for defenses. But, he just plays with that big boy mentality, can catch everything.
Yep.
Just a very, 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 very superior competitor. And, you can't take that away from him. And those are guys that you want to have the ability to go up against because you know that he's going to bring the best out of you.
Mm-hmm. And when you talk about Stefon Diggs, if you had to give us your list of top route runners in the game right now, who would be in that list?
Man, he's up there for sure. Man, I'm not ranking them because, I don't like doing that because everybody's different. So I go Stefon, I go Devontae, got to go Jets.
You said who?
Devontae.
Oh, Devontae. Oh, yeah. Devontae, yep.
Got to go Jets. Let me see who else is in there. Nobody out of the NFC West. NFC.
What about Cooper Kupp?
Cooper Kupp and Amari Cooper.
Yeah, cool. yeah, cool.
Hey, Riff Raff is nice too if he can just hold on to the damn ball.
Riff Raff?
Yeah, out of Oakland.
Oh, Raiders. You talking Renfro?
Renfro, whatever his damn name is. Yeah, Renfro.
Hunter Renfro.
Hey, Renfro. Hey, that boy got some nice feet too.
Pat said Riff Raff.
Renfro.
Yeah, Hunter Renfro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from Clemson.
Before we get to prediction time, let's focus on the defense real quick. Von Miller, who's a part of your class, your draft class, in this 12th season, he has 7 sacks, and potentially Trey White might make his season debut this Sunday. Let's talk about Von Miller, a guy who you know extremely well, and what he's meant to their defense. And then, of course, if Trey White is able to return, I think he would probably be on the pitch count. Knowing that this will be his first game, I don't know how much he would play as far as reps, but those are two guys that could be definitely influential to their defense and knowing the experience that they bring. Talk about that matchup for your offensive lineman. And of course, Justin, if you get a chance to see Trey White this Sunday.
Yeah, I agree. I think Trey will probably be on the pitch count, due to the injury that he's coming back from. He's a franchise guy. You don't want to really, rush him into a situation to where he's not 110%, but you definitely want to get him in there to get his feet wet and get him some game time action because obviously that's the only time a guy can feel and get comfortable is in a game. We know he has a lot of experience, but when you're making that run, you still want to make sure that you have your feet up under you. So I can expect him on a pitch count for sure. And then when you go to Von Miller, he's just been one of the best ever since he came into the league. Just continually to be productive wherever he is. Continually to bring that winning mentality wherever he is. So it's great to see a draft mate bring that type of energy, persona, and vibe to whatever organization steps into. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yes, sir. And it's a beautiful thing when I get close to predicting the exact score. And when I do that, the Vikings win. So now it's time for B-Mac's prediction, right? B-Mac's prediction now, like I said, Case Keenum probably might be a guy. Case Keenum might be the guy. He might be a starter. All right. So prediction time. I got to think. I just can't just throw it out there. I got to think. How the weather going to be? That could be very,
man, I don't know. Man.
All right, Mac. On the road, playing against the defense that can rush the passer. I think Dalvin Cook will have a huge game this game too, by the way. I see Cook giving us at least 113 on the yard, on the ground, 113. 113. I see that, 113. So let's do this. Let's do this, Pat P. Let's go. All right. 24, Vikings. 24, 19. Minnesota win.
24-19.
Yeah, and I said Cook gonna give us I say Cook gonna give us what, 112, 113 on the ground.
I don't know what you said, but we need it.
24 is high. The high gonna be in the 40. That ain't bad. That ain't bad, Pat P. The high gonna be 40. That's great football weather.
If that's what you about to ask me.
Are you having white cleats again?
Yeah, white cleats. Hey, the white cleats been good to me. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
Now you want to, what I've been saying all year.
White cleats been very good to you guys.
What I've been telling you all year.
I'm a win, man. Relax, okay?
I know, but I just can I pat myself on the back? That's it. I won't pat. Let me pat. I don't mind patting myself on the back. I don't care nothing about it. I'll pat myself on the back. B-Mac prediction, 24-19, Vikings win. It's time for Pat P to get another interception as well. That's what we need.
Yeah,
we need another interception. We need another interception.
I agree.
Ladies and gents, we're going to take one quick break. And when we come back, it's time to tap into Around the League, get you guys caught up on everything that's going on around the National Football League. We'll be right back after this. And Pat P, there's a lot of news going on in the NFL. Every week, there's a lot of news. But most recently, Jeff Saturday was hired as a Colts interim head coach. Now, why this is a big deal, here's why. Jeff Saturday used to play for the Colts, had a very, very good career with the Colts, won a Super Bowl, been retired for a long, long time, currently works as an analyst for ESPN, also helps out with a local high school in his area where he lives.
Yep.
He's never coached in the NFL or college. He's never really been a part of the coaching staff in Indy. Clearly this year, they'd be able to understand and knows the ins and outs, the nuances of the team, the roster, blah, 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 blah. Heck, he's never really I don't even think he's traveled to road games with the team consistently. But somehow or another, Jim Irsay, who's the owner, decided to name him interim head coach. Never seen anything like this before.
No.
What are your thoughts, Pat P?
Hey, man. What?
Because my thing is this. It's one thing to bring in an interim head coach that's an outsider who's not a part of the staff currently. I've never seen that. Usually, the interim head coach is already there. Prime example, let's go down level to college football, right? They fired Brian Harsons, Auburn, that is. I'm talking about University of Auburn. They fired Brian Harsons. They named Cadillac Williams the interim head coach. Cadillac is on staff.
Right.
You know, he's the running back coach. He's on staff. That's how it usually happens. Right? I don't know if you've ever been a part of a coach getting fired during the season, but they elevate someone who's already on the staff. I don't even know if Jeff Saturday could name, before being named the interim head coach, I don't know if he could name all 22 starters.
Nah, I doubt. Well, he possibly can.
I don't know. I don't know, Pat P. He ain't been hands-on. So think about this, Pat P.
He hasn't been hands-on, but he well, at least his title, he was a consultant for the team.
Yeah, he was a consultant, but
so that's what I'm saying. He can give you 22 starters, man. I give him the benefit of the doubt.
But even though he's a consultant, you don't know the day-to-day routine, the meeting schedules, the ins and outs. Right. What happens if you have a delay? What happens if you need to do this? You need to change some things up. You know, the plays that both sides are running offensively and defensively. Like, what's our go-to in situational football? Who we like to go to? Knowing the personnel. Man, this is just mind-boggling. Jim Irsay need to cut this out.
No, I agree. I definitely agree that this is mind-boggling. This is a slap in the face to the head coaches that was
to the other, it's slap in the face of every other coach on that staff.
Because you got John Fox, you got 40 years of experience. You got Gus Bradley, who got a bunch of years of experience. So what you telling me? Then his press conference was like, I don't know how to make sausage. I don't know what goes in sausage. I just know how to make a good football team.
That's what
you know
said.
How to make a good football team, but do Jeff Saturday know how to coach a good football team with no experience?
Yeah. What would your reaction be? Let's say you was a part of the Indianapolis Colts and this happened. Like being a veteran guy
and saying, "What are we doing? What are we doing?
Exactly.
What are we doing right now?"
Yeah, and this is no knock on Jeff Saturday.
And with that decision, what that shows me is like, oh man, shit, they ain't trying to be here.
Yeah, that was an irresponsible hire.
Man, no doubt
period.
about it. Man.
Irresponsible. Period. We're gonna see how it play out. I mean, this is the.
I hope it pay out to be, great for Jeff because he's a former player, great guy. Had the opportunity to run across him a couple of times, but man.
And think about this. He was a consultant for the team. I don't know exactly what his role was, the responsibilities, right? But clearly he wasn't up there like that because he still had other obligations with ESPN.
Right.
So he can't be in two places at one time. So
exactly.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. We just have to monitor that situation from afar. In other news, in regards to what happened this past Sunday, Joe Mixon, who I have on one of my fantasy teams, 5 touchdowns, had the game of his life. Joe Mixon on Sunday versus the Panthers had 22 carries for 153 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, 4 catches for 58 yards, 1 receiving touchdowns, a total of 5 touchdowns. Joe Mixon gave me 50 fantasy points by himself in one of my leagues. But I'm kicking a lot of people in the mouth in fantasy football. I'm a part of 3 fantasy leagues, Pat Pete. I won in all 3 leagues. Huh?
I said, you coming with it.
No question. I'll kick people in the mouth, boy. I don't play around. I'll knock your fronts out if you ain't careful.
I'll knock your fronts out.
I'll knock your fronts out if you're not careful. Yes. I'm trying to go get that bag and that reward, that bag. But man, 5 total touchdowns. He had a game of his life. Do you remember the best game you've ever had in the National Football League?
Man, best game I ever had?
Yeah.
Trying to think what it was a game. Hell, it could have been the Rams. The Rams game where I had my rookie year, the first Rams game, we had the black jerseys on. I had a pick in that game, a couple PBUs, and that's when I ran the 99-yarder back.
Uh-huh.
Just overall, that's when I felt like that was like a November. And that's when they say, man, rookies hit that wall in November.
Yeah.
No, cat, not P2. We started thriving.
I think I remember that game. They had the black jerseys on, all black.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think my best game was probably my second year. We played against Tampa. They had Joey Galloway, Mike Clayton that used to go to LSU. And I was a fan of Joey Galloway growing up. So I'm like, man, I'm about to play against freaking Joey Galloway, right?
Right.
That game, I had like 9 tackles, 4 PBUs, interception, a forced fumble, and I think I might have got a sack. It was. I was in a zone.
Mac went crazy.
Yeah, and I remember like it was yesterday. It was a 4:25 kickoff. My second year, and I had an ISO. It was a nub side tight end, Pat Pete. This one they had All-Star. So All-Star used to play running back for them, a little bit of fullback, but most of running back. Nub side tight end, slot set away from me. I'm to the boundary on the nub side tight end. Nub side tight end blocks our end man out. So opens a freaking gap between me and John All-Star.
Oh boy.
Nobody else. Hey, ain't nobody gonna get to him before I get to him to slow him down. I see it. Said, right. So in the moments of him getting the football, I see the flashbacks of all his highlights of him running over people, stiff arming people. It's like in slow motion. So while I'm getting ready to commit my life on the line, put my blood on the sword, I'm seeing all his highlights, him running people over. I said, oh, right. So my thought process was like, I hope someone would get to him before I get to him. Because I don't want to be the first. I don't want to have that first impact before anybody else can kind of slow him down. Ain't nobody there.
Right.
I said, well, Matt, it's going to be what it's going to be. This is the conversation I'm having with myself.
Oh, I've been there before.
You know that feel like, oh. I went in there. I just shoot. I shot. It was one of those situations where I shoot to show people that I'm trying to make effort, but I really don't want to make no contact. But I want you to see I'm looking like I want this contact. It was one of them types.
I want all the smoke.
Luckily enough, he hit me with a side. He hit me with a side step, and I caught his left thigh just a little bit to slow him down. But I said, man, listen, this man gonna give me a kathink, man. He gonna put me to sleep, and I wasn't trying to go to sleep. You get that kathink, boy. You know that messes up the whole flow of the game. You know what you do. And back then, boy, you go to sleep, you still gonna play.
Bro, you coming crazy,
out. Bro. Yeah, you know that, man. You know that ain't no good feeling when you see that back coming who want action, who looking for contact,
like a Brandon Jacob, Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, them boys are different breeds,
man.
Yeah, but that's probably my best game, though. That's probably my best game, Pat P. But hey, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed the show. 7-1 Minnesota take their talents to the Buffalo Bills this upcoming Sunday. A team that's clearly looking to get back in the winning column. We don't know what the status will be of Josh Allen, but we will find out before the game. I don't think Josh Allen is going to play. My prediction for this game, what I said, 24-19. Dalvin Cook going to give us 112 yards, 113 yards on the ground. Pat P's going to have another impressive game. Can't wait to see the celebration defensively when they get this interception, these interceptions, and then the celebration on the plane ride home. Make sure y'all stay tuned, and let's see what they got in store this Sunday. Put it on. All right, Pat P.
Yes, sir.